surveys you develop, and you have to know what do you want, what information do you want to get from the people you're surveying. So
Right.
that's something that has to be worked on. So that's really not
So
included.
this was more sample
Yes,
type
it is.
stuff?
Yes, it is.
Because I think, I actually agree with you. I think getting a baseline, you do it when you go to a doctor's appointment, you do it for, you get your baseline, then you know, are we doing well, and what areas are we doing well in, and where can we improve? I think that would maybe be a good addition to our policy, maybe set up strategic survey times every year, or whatever, or for the first beginning, and then in a year, and then every 2 years, or something. So we can see where we're going with it and how well we're doing. And I also think starting down at the very, very young students, like they do down at the MAC, or they are down at the MAC with their curriculum, is going to help change the culture, because it is those subtle things that, I have a teenage daughter, so I see it. I hear the stories, and I think a lot of it is they just are not even realizing that they're hurting somebody's feelings because they just don't know. So starting with the little ones and working the way up the ladder is going to help fix that, or help it. Maybe it will never fix it, but it's part of the entire process, I think. But I do think, I agree with her, I'd like to see a baseline done across the board, and to the parents potentially, so that we can figure out how well are we doing and where can we fix. I do like some of these specifics. Where are you having bullying? Where is it happening? Is it happening in the locker rooms, or is it in classroom? So that we can see, is there a place that we need some more staff, or that we need some monitoring? When, where, why? I do agree with your assessment on that. I think I'd like to see that added in here, a little bit more specific as to when we survey and who.
Well, there is a vehicle in the plan
Right,
to
I
do
do see it.
So,
Mhm.
and again, I think that getting the information and data from the individuals that you're trying to survey will help, especially the kids,
Mhm.
will help to drive your curriculum and
Mhm.
adjust your curriculum to meet the needs
Mhm.
that you see that the kids have in order to change the climate. Because that's one theme I think we've all heard here tonight, and that is that this revolves around climate change. And hopefully, as time rolls on and as this issue becomes highlighted more and more information is given to the kids about it, that climate change will occur, so that by the time kids do arrive at the high school, those kinds of behaviors that we see that are that restrict kids from belonging with certain groups will not be accepted, and that the climate will have changed for the better.
Thank you. Mr. Lamb?
Dr. Colley, I just one quick question.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of zero tolerance because you need to have some discretion. I know the state is pretty much putting it on us to have this policy, and they've given us a lot of direction on what they want in it. Do you feel that you have enough discretion?
I do. Like I said, there's pieces of the plan that are very specific, like the data that we're going to be collecting through the incidents. That I think, the reason why we spent a lot of time on that is because we're foreseeing what the state is going to be requiring for us to report back to them over time. In fact, I was just at a training yesterday on civil rights and regulations, and they said, where certain districts get reviewed for their programs every 5 years, 3 to 5 years, and we're coming up for a review next year, and as they're reviewing that section, they say, well, we're going to have you collect the information and report back to us what you're doing here, 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 and oh, by the way, make sure you leave enough room because we'll probably be adding something on bullying. So there is enough in here to be flexible, I think more along the lines of what the curriculum looks like, what the trainings are going to look like. We do have some flexibility as to what data to collect and how to collect it, but at the end of the day, the state is still going to be telling us certain things that have no flexibility whatsoever. You're going to have to report these things, here's how we want you to report them. But that's gonna be across the state. It's not gonna be something that's gonna preclude us from doing things we think we should do. I think the bigger piece here is going to be, the amount of resources that a plan like this would have us put into play. I mean, we have been fairly frugal in just building this plan. I mean, we did send people to trainings, but there were trainings that were available for, nothing. They were free, but we still had to pay for subs and the transportation for people and whatnot. You could get very detailed and very crazy with these kind of programs, and they are expensive. There is no question about it. I mean, you can go on the internet right now, and if you hit bullying training, you'd have hundreds of companies out there now providing training at, $1,000 a day, $1,500 a day, $300-400 for somebody to go to a 1-hour training. There are people out there trying to make money on this, and I'll make no qualms about it. The more you want done in a way that is not homegrown, the more I can tell you, right now, we had a company come down and talk to us about a surveying type protocol that you could buy from them. And what was the price? $25,000 a year. So, yeah, we can do great surveys with that. But, do we have $25,000 in the budget just to do surveys all year long?
No.
Or, there are people who you can hire as consultants for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 to come in and tailor a survey just for you, just for your community, and we can get great data out of it. Or, and this takes more work on our part,